Hey y'all, if you're returning, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. So today I'm going to be walking y'all through my blending process, and when I say blending, I'm basically just talking about contour and highlighting. So this is going to be like a two-part video because there are two ways that you can do this using different products. So today I'm going to do the powder technique. Basically, I'm not going to be using any liquid foundation or any like cream contour, which is, I'll show y'all. This is an example. If y'all can see, that is cream. So yeah, I'm just gonna be using powder, contour, and all that good stuff. So let's get started. We're always gonna start with a primer, and this is the primer I'm gonna be using, Milk. You can get it from Sephora. I'm just gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand. And you can use a brush to apply it to your face, or you can use your hands. But I'm gonna go ahead and use a brush. As soon as I can find it, here we go. So I'm just gonna use a flat, this is actually a foundation brush. But it can also be used for primer. So I'm just gonna put that all over. And I did start out with my brows and lashes done already, because that's just what I like to do. I like to do eyes first and then move on to the blending and contour process. Okay, so it's still a bit wet. So I'm just gonna fan it a little bit, just like that. Okay, that's it. And so now I'm gonna move on to the powder foundation, and I'm going to be using MAC Studio Fix. And it is in the shade of NC43. Now, technically, this is my summer shade, but I was just like, I'm not gonna buy another one, child. I like more of the tanned look anyways, so I'm okay with that. But you really should have a summer and a winter foundation, powder and liquid. But yeah, this is my summer color. I actually don't even know what my winter color is, because like I said, never bought one. So this is actually a powder brush from e.l.f. See that? There we go. And I mainly use this brush to put on my powder foundation. So I just use tapping motions all over. You can put on however much you need based on how much coverage you like. And coverage, you know, is basically just like how many layers of the product that you want to put on in order to feel comfortable with how your skin is looking. Like if you want to cover some blemishes, then you want to add more coverage, which is more layers of the product. Okay, so now I'm going to switch out this powder brush with just this like medium-sized fluffy brush. And I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to get in between my brows. I don't like to use the fluffy brush to do this part because it's gonna mess up my brows, and I don't want that. They're already done, and I'm not going back. So there you go. Okay, so this is okay. I'm good with this coverage. Next, I'm gonna move on to concealer, and I'm gonna be using LA Pro. Okay, and I'm gonna put this on my hand as well. I'm going to use a flat brush to put on the concealer, and I'm going to start in the corner of my eye right here, make some small strokes, and then come out a little bit, and then I'm going to go over here and make this line going upward. And that is what's gonna give you that natural lift. whenever you're ready to blend it out. Do the same thing on this side. My line right here. And if you're doing a cat eye, this technique also helps to like clean it up and make it look really sharp. Okay, and then I'm gonna do a little bit on my nose and right here on the bridge and a little bit right here above my eyebrows and a little bit on my chin. Bam. So now I'm going to blend out this concealer. I have my spray bottle and then I have my sponge. So I'm going to spray it like, make sure it's coming out. I'm gonna spray it like 3 times. And then to make sure it's not too wet, I'm gonna tap it a little bit on my arm. And then I'm gonna use tapping motions to blend out the concealer. Tap it, don't drag it. Then start bringing it over. And follow this line you made right here. Still using tapping motions. Okay, that's good right there. And just keep blending until you don't really have a super harsh line right here. And then again, you don't have to really worry about that as much in this moment. Okay, and then you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now we're gonna start blending out the harsh lines, okay? So I'm gonna get this fluffy brush, this medium-sized fluffy brush, and I'm going to go on the outsides and start pressing in the concealer. Not wiping, but like tapping. And then I'm gonna go back in with my sponge and continue to smooth it out because you don't want to leave the brush marks. You don't want to leave those brush marks in there. Okay, and now we're going over to the other side and we're gonna do the same thing. You definitely don't want to keep this harsh line along the bridge of your nose. So don't forget to do that. Just keep tapping. Don't get rid of your clean cut line right here. So be real careful and soft in here. You want to keep your lift. Okay. Go in, make sure this is still smooth. No brush marks. Okay, now we can smooth out the rest of it. And I'm gonna use this fluffy brush again. Now I am kind of swiping this a little bit because sometimes depending on whatever concealer you use, it'll start to dry and it'll get a bit tacky. So that's why I am kind of swiping this now. And up my nose. You can kind of use your finger for the tip of your nose as well. And the bridge. Okay. Okay, now it's time to set. So I'm going to set with this Laura Mercier setting powder. Open it up and I'm gonna use this velvet sponge, velvet triangle sponge. I got it off Amazon. I prefer to set with this instead of a regular sponge because the velvet texture on here makes it go on much smoother, and yep, it makes it go on much smoother And so you get a more flawless, soft finish. Like it won't make it look so harsh, if that makes sense. It'll be nice and smooth, and it presses it literally into your skin instead of just sitting on top. So we're gonna use tapping motions. Don't swipe, just tap. Okay, and we're gonna set it everywhere we've used concealer. I'm not gonna add any more on here because there's still some on there, and I don't want it to look super harsh along my nose and my forehead and my chin. I need it to look as soft as possible, so I don't need to add any more. Okay, so for some people, this is the baking process, but for me, I don't really bake because I do have some creases under my eyes, and I have found in the past that whenever I bake, whatever products I'm baking with sit right there in those creases, and that is not cute. So I have learned to swipe it right on off as soon as I use it. So I'm just literally doing swiping motions to wipe it off, and I'm being as gentle as possible. So next is blush. So I know earlier I said that this is gonna be a powder blending video, but for both my powder and my liquid techniques, I do use cream blush. I definitely think that it's necessary for both techniques, because if you guys follow any makeup trends, using cream blush and having like super rosy cheeks is a trend right now. So you definitely want to have that for both looks. So I'm going to use this. This is from Milk. It's from Milk, and it is in the shade of Work. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to put it, on my cheeks like that. And we're not going to use too much because, again, this is supposed to be more of a soft, everyday type look. But at the same time, we still want it to show up a little bit. So we're going to put a good amount, but we're not going to be like super generous with it. Put a little bit along my nose as well. I know that's weird, but trust me, it's cute. So to blend this in, I'm going to get my sponge, water bottle, spread. Okay, so I'm going to use the butt of the sponge and blend this out in tapping motions. Be careful not to take it too high because you don't want it to interfere with your with what you've set up here. So take it up your cheekbones. Don't leave it just like right here in the apple of the cheek. We're taking it up. Because again, we're lifting. Same thing on this side. And tap it in until it literally looks like your skin. And you don't see those harsh lines. Okay, so now we're ready to contour, and I'm gonna be using Fenty Beauty. Clean it off a little bit, but yeah, I'm gonna be using Fenty Beauty Island Ting, and it's in the shade of Sunstalker. And I'm gonna take this fluffy brush right here, dip into it, tap off the excess powder, and I'm gonna go like directly underneath where I put the blush. And I don't really have cheekbones like that, or maybe I do, I don't know. But it's a habit for me to fish face while I'm doing this process. Just a little bit. And I'm gonna bring it along like the temple. Okay, and we're gonna take it along my forehead up here, right on top of where I used that blush. And it's automatically warming up the face. You can tell the difference, like it's giving the face more warmth and dimension versus over here where it just looks like one color and I'm kind of looking like a thumb a little bit. That's the importance of a bronzer. Get that dimension and that warm sun-kissed look. So I'm gonna continue to take it along my face. Tapping motions again. It's a lot of tapping motions. Right underneath that blush. Be careful not to completely cover it up so you can still see it right there. So at this stage, you can add however much you are comfortable with. Like whatever type of look you're going for, do it. And when you're ready to stop, like, okay, that's enough. I like the way it looks. Stop. Okay. So this is good for me right now. I might change my mind later. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends on the type of mood I'm in. But this is good. So I'm gonna add a little bit to my jawline to warm me up a little bit down there. And that is a part of the contouring process. You know, to give you the illusion that you hiding all this extra down here. So that's what that is for. Okay. Now I'm gonna get my nose. I'm gonna use this smaller fluffy brush and tap in here, get rid of the excess. And I'm gonna start right here on my nose and I'm gonna put these, I'm gonna mark my nose so I know where to go from. Okay, so I've made my marks. This is right there. And now I'm going to take it up into my eye and put it right, start blending it right here in my crease. Now the reason for me doing this is just in case I decide to do some eyeshadow, I got a head start. And even if I'm not gonna do eyeshadow, this helps create the illusion that I got some on, if you can see the difference. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Blend it into my crease. Okay, then I'm gonna start making my way down the bridge. Then I'm gonna start making my way down my nose. I'm gonna get the tip here. I'm gonna circle around the tip, just like that. Okay, so now I'm just basically getting it to where I like it. Yeah, there we go. I like that, that's good. Okay, so next we're going to set the blush. I'm going to be using Juvia's Place palette, and my two favorite colors to use is B and what's the name of this one? Tau? T-A-U, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but B and Tau. I like to mix those two together. So I'm going to use this fluffy brush from e.l.f. Oh, I'm holding it. Okay, so I'm going to start with a little bit of B. I don't want to use too much. I'm going to start with a little bit of B, tap, and then a little bit of this because this stuff is very pigmented. You don't want to do too much. So I'm just going to lightly tap over that cream blush I used earlier. Okay, now this is where you can add a little bit of it to under your eyes where you said it earlier. So just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then add some up here because you want to set that as well. So just a few tapping motions, and also your nose because you have some on your nose. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so at this point there are some harsh lines that you want to get rid of, so let's blend that. Okay, so where's my brush I want to use? I'm going to use this fluffy brush to blend out this blush. And so I really am using like tapping motions. I was about to say I'm brushing it, but no, I'm using tapping motions to blend it in. You want everything to look as if it's like melting into your skin. Just like that, and I'm gonna go to the other side and do the same thing. I'm gonna do the same thing up here. No harsh lines, no harsh lines. So you gotta take your time and really look and pay attention to where you have the harsh lines. You don't want that. Okay. That's good. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more bronzer. I feel like I need a little bit more. Because I just like that bronzed sun-kissed look. Okay, so these next two steps are optional. I am going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury powder. It's called, oh, what is it called? Let me tell y'all the right name for it. It's like airbrush powder. So I'm gonna go in with that, just a little bit though. And I'm gonna add just a little bit more like towards the corner of my eye because I just like that look. So I'm gonna use this fluffy brush I used earlier. Do like 1 or 2 taps because this stuff is very pigmented. And then I'm gonna tap into the corner of my eye, just like that. And then I'm gonna tap a little bit more of that on the blush just to make sure that it's blended out really, really well. Okay. And the second option is highlight. So this is from Milani, and it's in the shade of Rosa Italiana. So I'm going to use this fluffy brush. Take a few dabs in there. And I'm gonna go like right on top of where I used the blush and contour. Put a little bit on my nose, and then I'm gonna use my finger to do the bridge. Okay, and then a little bit on my forehead, but not too much. And a little bit on my chin. I don't want to do too much on my chin either, but blend that in real good. Okay. Again, those last two things I just did, this extra powder under the corner of my eyes and then this highlight, completely optional. You do not have to do that. Now I'm going to set really quick with this Morphe spray. And this is actually my working spray. Like a working spray is what you use while you're still literally working, but it helps to melt in what you've already done so you can continue. So I'm gonna spray some of that. Okay. Fan that out. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish my face and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have finished the look. This is it. So I went back and added mascara. Y'all see that? I went back and added mascara along my bottom lashes, and then I did my lips. I didn't film it because this isn't a full face tutorial. This is strictly about blending. So I can definitely do an updated full face makeup routine later. Let me know in the comments below if y'all want that. But yeah, this is the finished look. Let me set it. So I'm going to be using this Mario Badescu facial spray with rose water, aloe, and herbs. And I'm choosing to use this because I like the way that it melts everything together. And then it's literally a facial spray, so you're still getting that moisture and quote unquote nutrients that you need for your skin. So that's why I use this. And I used the Morphe spray earlier. I also use this Urban Decay all-nighter spray, but that's mainly like when I know I'm about to have I know I'm about to have my makeup on all day. So when I need it to really last all day and all night, then I'll use a combination of both. And I also use a combination of both on my clients as well. So, but just for today, I'm gonna use this one by itself. So I'm gonna do a couple of sprays. It smells so good too. Okay, so this is it. This is my blending routine, and this is definitely for my everyday look when I just want to do a quick 1-2, get it together, and be out the door. This is exactly the routine that I would do. So as I stated earlier, this is part 1 with just using mainly powder products. Now, for this technique, it is lighter and softer, but I do not recommend using just a powder foundation if you are trying to cover up like a certain amount of blemishes or anything like that. I do recommend that you use a liquid foundation to help you cover up the blemishes and whatnot. So yeah, that would be part 2. Blending using liquid foundation, the cream contour, and just like going in, like going all out, because that's really mainly for like when you're trying to make a statement and like glam like that's gonna be part 2. So I hope you guys enjoyed this part, and I hope that it was easy for y'all to follow and you understand. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe and share this video. See y'all next time.